Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis. Tonight on the podcast, we go to the pictures. To killer pictures. Hope Madden's new book, she's back on whiskey business. Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis, and welcome back to Whiskey Business Podcast. Not so much about whiskey as it is one with the whiskey. And tonight, believe it or not, after 250 some plus bottles, our guest bottle tonight is just a basic bottle of Jameson's. And I thought we had to have had Jameson's, and we have, but we never had just Jameson's.
I actually, that's hard to believe.
Yeah, I know.
When you
We've
say
had
that,
Jameson's. We've had the 12-year Special Reserve bottle. We've had the Jameson's Cold Brew. We've had the Jameson's Black Barrel. We've had some Jameson's Cooper Cruise. But just plain old Irish whiskey, everyday pour Jameson's. So there's nothing to talk about. Everybody's had Jameson's at some point in their life.
This was my first.
Yeah. So I decided that I had a full bottle of it. Left over from my daughter's wedding.
all right.
So, we're celebrating it all.
Yeah.
So,
That's like saying, did we have Canadian Club?
I think we have had Canadian Club.
No way, really?
I think we did. Or
your
Secret
mom
7.
or something.
That's what my
Secret
mom
7.
drank.
Yeah.
Secret 7. We had one or the other. Hope Madden will be joining us in just a little bit. I held up the book in the intro. Killer Pictures, her new book. Fun. Different from Roost. I'll be asking her about that because I will have to ask her if there's a little bit of schizophrenia in her world, because it's like both books are written from two different people. They're different in style, and I like that. I like that.
That is good.
But
Keeps you guessing.
Yeah, it does keep you guessing. But I'll be asking her some of those questions and other ones too. About the process and the well, why am I telling you guys?
It's exciting.
You guys are here.
Well, it's exciting.
I do want to share one funny thing as I continue. You all bitch about getting older. Hansberry,
Yeah, it's the worst.
It's hitting me.
I
42.
checked a new box today.
Yeah.
On the okay, that's old.
Continents? Nothing.
What? Did you say condoms?
No, incontinence.
Continents.
Oh, incontinence.
Yes,
continence.
Yes.
I tried to say that word.
No, and no to condoms too. I mean,
His mouth is full of Gatto's pizza.
I can't remember the last time I saw a condom. I think the one I have upstairs in the bottom of my sock drawer has straps on it. That's how fucking old it is. But
Sheepskin.
but
1987.
last year I turned 65 and I was eligible for Medicare.
All right.
And I fought that because it felt like an old thing, but I did it. I signed up for Medicare.
Gotta do it.
And then I had to get a supplemental plan. I got the plan with Humana.
Okay.
And I got a call last week, and I said, "Hi, this is Humana. We'd like to know when you'd like to schedule your in-home visit." I said, "What in-home visit?" She goes, "You are eligible for with our plan for an in-home visit." I go, "For what?" She goes, "For somebody to come in and see if you're okay."
Oh, no. A wellness check?
Yeah, a wellness check to
my
see
God.
if you're okay, to go over your medications,
right.
to make sure that everything in the house, there's nothing hazardous. And I start laughing. I go, I'm fine. I go, what's this cost? Because it doesn't cost anything. She goes, it's
complimentary.
It's part of your Humana plan. So then I said, what the hell?
Yeah.
So today
They can't.
They came today.
Today, the lovely lady lovely lady came
I wish
by
I was
today.
here for that.
Yeah.
Came by and I had my
Are you well?
Did you show her the?
but there was a couple things. She goes, she was like very polite at first. She goes, "Would you like to go and get your medications, and we can, so we can." I go, I know what medications that I'm on, and I started rattling off the medications that I take. One for my thyroid, one for my prostate, and so forth and so on. And she goes, "Oh, you actually know the names of them?" I go, "Yes, I do. I've been taking them for the last couple of years. I know the names of them." And then any other questions, and then we got to some one part where she goes, "This is a cognitive test." She goes, she draws a circle. She goes, I want you to mark down the time 11:10 and put the numbers
Okay.
as to where you think the number should be on the clock. And I'm familiar with
I think
this
my
test.
daughter just passed that in
And,
second grade.
And,
yeah.
and I said 11:10 digital clock or like the big round clock. And she said the big round clock. And I said, okay. She goes, I'm also going to give you 3 words. She said, and then in about 5 minutes, I'm going to ask you to repeat those 3 words.
right.
And she said, sunrise, the banana, and chair. And I
Okay,
said,
that's
okay.
good.
So we do some other things. And she checks my blood pressure, which is good, and the heart good, and
my gosh,
breathing, so forth and so on. Do you have any? I see you have steps. Do you have any problems going up the steps? I go, no, I don't have any problems going up the steps.
Just
I'm
checking
fine.
a lot of boxes.
Checking a lot of boxes, all the boxes. Then she comes back to it. She got. I filled out the circle. I put 11 and the 2, and she goes, good. She goes, now what were the words? And I said sunrise, apple, and chair. And she went. I never said apple. I go, yeah, you started to say apple, then you said banana, and then you went to chair. And she went, I did start to say apple, didn't I? And I thought that was too easy. And I go, did I pass? And she goes, yeah, I passed. And then she asked mental health questions, which now we're getting into she goes, are you, do you feel isolated and alone? And I said, not nearly enough. I go, there's people in here all the time. If anything, I want more isolation and more alone.
Man.
And that was it was a lovely conversation, and she says, I'll see you next year. And I'm like,
Nice.
okay.
So she's coming back next year.
And they come there. Apparently, it's a yearly thing.
Oh, wow.
So
Can
that
we
was-
please?
We
come
should put her
next
on the
time?
podcast next year.
When I do my wellness
set
check,
it all up when she
That's
comes in
it.
for the wellness
I said,
check.
I
then
hope
sit her
I-
down.
I hope I'm just as healthy next year as I was.
Oh yeah, you got lots
this
of
year.
years. You got
So-
lots of years.
I could see a lot of pranks with this lady too.
Yeah.
You know?
You should have said. Ironically, I've just fallen and I can't get up. You know?
And she asked about the smoking, and she goes, and she goes, yeah. She asked about depression. I said, yeah, I suffer from depression, and I get occasional anxiety. She goes, how do you deal with it? I said, I self-medicate in my own way. She
Did
goes,
you point at your boobs?
And she looked at the booze. I go, no, not the booze. I said, I meditate. I take a walk. I breathe. I do it that way. I get involved in something. I said, yes, I drink, but not to excess. Everything's in
It's for
moderation.
it's for work.
Except the cigarette smoking. I did fess up to that. Anyway, check that box.
All right.
In-home visit for wellness check. First on the block to get
Nice
it.
job.
Thank you.
And
very
you're well.
much. Thank
That's
you.
even better.
And I'm well. All right.
Excellent.
Let's get Hope.
All right,
on
I'll
board.
do the business
Hope,
while
you
she
do the
comes over.
business. Chip,
Yeah, don't
slide
forget.
on over,
We
and
got to
let's
get some of
bring
that Gatto's
the-
pizza too.
Yeah, thanks to
Yeah,
Gatto's
thank
Pizza,
you,
our
Gatto's
official
Pizza. Got to get a Gatto's.
official
Yeah.
pizza sponsor.
Very good.
Thank you, Tony, over at Gatto's, and thank you, Dave DeRoberts, Tony's father, who calls it in for us. Oh, it
What's
looks
on
good.
that there, Johnny?
Hello, Hope.
Got banana pepper
How are
sausage
you?
and
Thanks. How are
pepperoni.
you?
Nice.
I'm good. Hope Madden is back, and George, your husband, is hanging out as well.
He is, yeah.
He said when he came in, he said it feels like it's been a while, and he goes, it has been because we missed one. We missed the Oscars.
We missed the Oscars.
We missed our annual Oscar, but that's not
right.
happening next
Because you're
year.
a big movie star.
No, I'm not.
You had big movie star stuff to do.
There was a busy time for all of us, But I do. Sadly, I'm sad we missed it because it's like I feel like we actually
It's
missed
your
something.
opportunity to flex.
But here's the deal. I love Hope Madden. I'm also envious and jealous of Hope Madden because Hope Madden, and I'm speaking like you're not even here, is
a great redhead. She has an amazing set of red hair. Look at that.
And is also very prolific, and I'm envious of that because you've written 2 books in how many years?
The 3 years.
In 3 years. 2 books in 3 years. Oh, sure. Everybody does that. Everybody does that. Short stories galore. With another one coming out here soon.
Yep.
They are available in collections. We're going to come back to that. But the most recent one is this one, Killer Pictures. Now, I have to be careful because I know what... Okay, over here. I asked you if over here was good, and you said you're blocking my face. All right?
Yeah.
No, that's why it's good. This is why it's a
No.
really good book.
That nurse better come back and check you again because that's not what I said.
Was there a prostate exam? Sorry, I should have asked that earlier.
There was not.
Okay.
There
All
was
right.
not.
Just
I
thought of that
offered, but
I offered.
she.
Sorry, Hope.
She did. She said no. All of a sudden, you're turning it into a penthouse letter. This type of thing never happens to me. But anyway, back to this. This book is in your wheelhouse of what you do.
Yes.
And like I said, I'm trying to be careful because it deals with a horror film festival.
It does.
And it deals with the people who yay or nay the films that get into the festival.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And then some crazy, bizarre things start to happen. Now, how far can I say that? I'm going to let you take it from there to a certain point, so I don't do any unintentional spoilers.
Okay.
So tell me if you were saying, Hope, what's your book about?
Okay,
If I
yeah.
had never read it, because I have read it, but if I have never read it, what would you tell me?
Sure.
Safely, without spoiling anything.
Yeah, there is the main character. She's a juror for a horror film festival, and she's watching the queue. The movies that have been submitted one night, and a movie pops up, and it's called Adam, and she thinks, "Wow, that's crazy," because there's a judge named Adam, and the next day, Adam has killed himself and his wife, and the movie disappears from the queue and is replaced by a movie called Grant. And that's the name of another juror.
Another juror.
Sounds like
So-
a good premise to me.
Thank you. I thought so.
And so forth and so on.
Yeah, and so she, she's convinced that that the films are somehow killing people, and that she needs to figure out what's going on before she sees her name in the queue.
I love it.
Does she or does she? I don't know.
It reminds me. I know you guys are secret fans of Final Destination. It
I
kind of
do.
reminds me a little bit of that vibe. Like
Yeah,
fate
death is coming.
for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Well, if a movie has Easter eggs in it, the book does too, because there are references to well-known films. There's even a reference to obstacle course.
There is.
So that's paying a little homage.
That's right.
I chuckled when I read that as well. Awesome. The book is available everywhere right
It
now
is,
as
yep.
we speak. You
Yep.
recently did a book signing at Barnes & Noble.
I did.
Congratulations. Was
Thank
that fun?
you. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of
yeah.
fun?
Yeah, I was nervous about that. I was afraid no one would come.
Are the people
but
that are
did.
coming to a book signing, are they there to meet Hope Madden, or are they there to buy the book, or a little bit of both? Because you guys are very popular. The screening room. Listen, over the years, you have become my Siskel and Ebert. I used to watch Siskel and Ebert religiously, and watch them agree or disagree on a film. I watch you guys weekly to see what you say about the movies.
Thank you.
I do,
you.
and because every once in a while I might disagree after the fact, but what you guys think or say tells me if I want to go see it like right now,
Sure.
or if I can wait a little bit.
See, I do the opposite. I'll watch a movie, then I'm like, oh god, I gotta go see what Hope and George said about it, like just to kind of confirm my my thought processes or whatever.
So the people that come to the book signings, a little bit of both.
Yeah, there were. I mean, a lot of the people who came are friends of ours. They were being supportive, and then there were people who were just there because there was, it was a Sunday and it was Barnes and Noble, and I happened to be sitting just inside the door. So, and then we did have some people who came because I think they probably must go to a lot of the authors' signings at Barnes and Noble. So I think it was probably about 50% people that we knew and 50% people that we didn't.
Okay.
Nice.
And like I said, the book is available everywhere as we speak. You can read it, or you can listen to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
With the golden, melodious voice, probably one of the best voices in here in Central Ohio in radio. Your husband, George.
That's right.
No way.
That is- yeah.
George.
That means you got it cheap.
I did. I did get it cheap. Yeah, I was.
Good
No,
job.
I have not. I have not listened to George do it. Because I like to read.
Yeah.
Is that on Amazon or what?
It is.
It's on
yeah.
Amazon. Yeah, I actually saw
And
it.
plus, I know what George's voice sounds like, and there's a part of me that says, well, what if I get used to George's voice, and I needed to go to sleep at night, and then once the book is over, then what do I do?
How long did that take you? Days and days and days.
No, it's
Sorry to ask,
That's
George.
okay.
I'm just I've always
I
been
worked on it. I
curious
did
about
like
that.
about just a chapter a chapter a day. So
Yeah.
I think maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I just have always wondered, like, especially if you have Lord of the Rings, it's like 5 inches thick.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick read. I think because he also did Roost. I'm just lucky that I have him at the house and he can.
Oh, he did Roost.
He
He
did.
read.
Yeah,
I didn't
he
know you
did.
did. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I didn't know that.
It's funny too because
a world.
a lot of my my siblings.
Like hours later, but maybe it was only a few minutes. The two survivors sat on the red swing on the front porch. Michael was in Destiny's lap. The ratty church lookalike crushed up.
And actually, it's if you are an Amazon Prime member, it's free.
That's right. It is.
Oh,
Interesting.
I'm a Prime member.
Yeah.
I'm a Prime member.
Does he act out the different parts like little girls?
voices.
No,
I'm
really.
yeah, but I'm really scared.
No.
Well, go listen to it and find
That's
out.
right.
Okay.
I'll be back.
All right. Well, you bring up that's a good segue because you bring up he also did the narration for Roost, and I mentioned this in the beginning of the podcast. Two different styles of book and writing. I mean, that's what I noticed right now, and I think I texted you.
Yeah,
that
you did,
early
yeah.
on. And I said, "Am I wrong?" and I go, "I don't think I was wrong," and I don't even know how to properly compare the two because I'm not judging one against the other and saying one is better than the
Sure.
other. I'm just saying that one is they're both different from each other. So this is a safe question.
Yeah.
Which one did you enjoy writing more? Because I know Roost was
Roost
it
was
in your family and in your soul.
Yeah,
so to speak.
it was very much set in my hometown. Definitely very much set in my hometown, and I think that it was. I mean, honestly, Killer Pictures was just fun. It was just fun for me to write it. So I enjoyed writing Roost, but Killer Pictures was a lot more fun. And I think the tone, Roost is, it's spooky, and it's got that sort of throwback, small town, spooky, supernatural sort of a vibe to it. Whereas, Killer Pictures is about horror movies, and and I'm very comfortable there. So I wanted it to feel like you're watching a horror movie. That's what I wanted the book to feel like.
And it does. It does feel like you're watching a horror movie now, because everything leads to a certain path with me. Because I said that you are comfortable in this world because this is part of your world. When I went back through it a second time, because I felt this in the beginning, is Destiny, Des, is she at all based on you from a small way, or to in a larger way? I mean, do you, when you're watching these movies in queue, do you sit in your pajamas and these are the easy
Right.
lobs.
Yeah.
These are the easy lobs.
I'll be honest with you, she's really not. If I write myself as a character in something, I'm usually a fairly minor character that gets killed off in some comedic way.
Okay.
I don't find me interesting enough to be a main character. And so that's not really true with Roost. The character Hope is me, but that's because most of the adventures were things I recall having happened, and I grew up in this creepy town.
Right.
But in everything else that I write, and I do write quite a bit, I'm almost never the main character.
Okay.
So Des is much more of an amalgamation of a handful of people that I know
Safe answer.
than the other characters. Most of the other characters are pretty cleanly patterned after somebody I know, but
The other characters.
most of the other characters.
Because I started to think about people in our cinema world.
Right.
Like, I wonder if that's loosely based on,
Yeah.
and I won't name names, but
Yeah.
the way she described his persona and his attitude. I wonder if that's
And
Jan Whitney.
You have to make it a
Whitney's not in there.
caricature, right? You have to exaggerate a little bit.
Well, here's what because I almost always do pattern characters after people I know, and there's a reason I do it. It's because when you write a character, you write a scene, you can say to yourself, what would this completely fictional character do in this moment? Or I could say, well, if it was my sister Ellen, she would put a coaster under that cup right there.
Right.
So it's much easier for me to make them seem like real, fully fleshed out characters. The people I know, on the whole, don't murder other people. So they, in fact,
On the whole.
they don't look that much like the characters that I write. But it's easier for me also to make sure that the dialogue. Often when I read a book, I feel like every single character sounds like the same person, which probably means they sound like the writer. It's important to me that the dialogue seems natural and to make sure that they don't all sound like me. Because even if I use different verbiage, it'd have the same cadence that I have because it's how I naturally construct sentences.
Right.
So I just don't. I would say to myself, how does my friend Matt talk? How would Matt say this thing? And then very often I steal sentences whole from Matt and I put them in his mouth. So I do that a lot.
What comes first? John is gonna be this character, or
please, yes, please.
or John says, my first skin, or he says something, and
Yeah.
then you trigger it. You know what I mean? And so all those little pieces
Right.
come together, and you're like, no, that's John.
Yeah, so there's two different things. You said it earlier. I was his first skin,
got
right?
a
You
tattoo.
got a tattoo. I keep a little notebook in my purse, and I write down just individual awesome sentences randomly that people say. And by the time I turn to them, I have no idea who said it. It's just a big notebook and they often just make their way into dialogue. So
Right.
it just gives characters a little bit of splash, some funny thing to say.
I do the same thing. If I don't have a notebook handy, I have a section in my notes, and I write it down. And it might be something that I say sometimes
Yeah.
in conversation that comes out like, oh shit, I got to write that down. But yeah, I'm kind of mostly relieved to the answer to that question because Destiny, Des, in the book is got some issues.
Yeah, she's got some bad wiring.
She's got some bad wiring, and I'm like, if you would have said like, oh yeah, it's completely based on me,
No.
I would have. My next question would have been, does your husband George sleep with one eye open at night for as many years as you guys have been married?
Yeah, but there's a sister character,
And that's my next question.
she's absolutely patterned after my sister. She is
Okay.
100% patterned after my sister.
And sisters seem to be there's sisters and roots.
Yeah.
Roots. I swear.
Roots.
I saw a thing at the
Roots,
anniversary. The
Roots is
anniversary of
totally
Roots is-
different.
the
I'm pretty
anniversary
sure it's
of
a
Roots-
completely different
The
story.
anniversary
Yeah.
of Roots is coming up. It's like a big anniversary, but
The guy
Roots-
from Reading Rainbow,
Yeah,
Oprah.
Yeah. There's,
See why you would confuse
and
me.
there's a biography about Alex Haley that's coming out that I want to read. So just shut up. Anyway, but sisters are seem to be something that you include. If there's anything similar
Yeah,
between the two, not style-wise, because those are completely different.
but the idea of sisters, and
thematically.
sisterhood, yeah, I think is
and a protective one.
yes. And I think, especially if I'm writing something more, long form, those are just easier. I'm a twin, so it's a very easy concept for me to fall back on, this idea of sort of being, that connected to another person, to a sibling. Plus, Joy is just a really funny person, and she says funny things, and so she makes a good character.
How do we know you're not Joy? And
Well,
We're
no,
actually-
you clearly not met her. Joy is about 5'4",
Oh.
so
identical.
we don't get mistaken for each other very much.
I have two questions that I need to answered. One, you said you want people to read it and feel like they're watching a horror movie. Success.
Okay,
that,
good.
that happened. So my next question is, since you guys are also filmmakers, have made short films, Obstacle Corpse being the feature, this seems like a natural shift. I would be shocked if you told me there wasn't a screenplay already being written, if not completed already. Because this it seems like this is natural fodder for that.
One of the things that I did when I wrote this book that I will probably do forevermore because it was so helpful is I wrote a screenplay simultaneously. And it was really useful because scripts are very structured and they help you see where your novel is soft structurally. And then your novel you have so much more opportunity to develop characters and consider character action that they help you see where you've really kind of, not given enough depth to your characters. And so, I wrote obviously many drafts of each, but I went back and forth and each draft of one really helped improve the draft of the other. So for that reason, yeah, I do have a script for it.
So yeah, side by side.
Yeah.
Interesting way to go. Nice. Interesting way to go. I mean, and I get that because again, I go back to the envious and the jealous. I started digging into something that I wrote 20 years ago, and I'm completely rewriting it, and it's slow and it's painful, but it's better. It's better than it was 20 years ago. Our mutual friend Ralph was reading. He goes. This is going to be so easy to put into a script because it's the dialogue's great, and like, yeah, I know it's dialogue heavy, and I don't know who your influences are in respects to writing the creepy stuff, but when it comes to writing the crime stuff, I was a huge Elmore Leonard fan.
Oh, for sure,
and
of course.
What's Elmore Leonard known for? His dialogue, So and I actually, were you working when I got to interview him? Were you my producer when I interviewed him?
Maybe, and we just like kept it in the pocket.
We never aired it. No, never aired it.
What would have
Because
been?
nobody said, who's Elmore Leonard?
Oh,
What would it have been
another
promoting?
reason why I'm not sad that I'm not at that radio station anymore.
Remind me,
The
I'll look for it.
short-sightedness is...
I have a hard drive.
Yeah, find it if you can find it. Yeah, and that was hard not to go all fanboy on him.
Oh,
for sure.
yes, it would be.
But yeah, God bless him. But who are your influences?
I think that they're probably more obvious in Roost. I'm a massive Flannery O'Connor and Shirley Jackson.
Wow.
I think that Toni.
I love Flannery O'Connor.
Yeah, I think Toni Morrison is the greatest American writer of all time. I also love Bukowski. Like, I've read more Bukowski than everybody else combined, but that's because he was incredibly prolific. So it's not hard.
He was prolific, but even bad Bukowski is pretty good.
Yeah, and I love...
There has been some bad.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
But I love... He also writes across he wrote poetry and short fiction and long fiction and nonfiction, and so he's easy to no matter what you're in the mood for, as long as you are in the mood for something nihilistic and misogynistic and just generally hateful.
And
he's perfect.
Who is
I
in
know.
the mood for something nihilistic and misogynistic from time to time? But that's it. Those are great references. Before I ask my second question, I'm going to leave it for later. I want to go, since we're talking writers and so forth and so on. You started to say something when we were off podcast, and I said stop because I want to ask that question on the podcast about your process.
Yeah.
Now, you kind of hinted at the fact that when you were writing the novel, you were also simultaneously writing the screenplay. But then you also talked about a short story that you have coming up in another collection, and we want to mention those other collections. First of all, let's mention the collections that are currently in print that have Hope Madden short stories in them.
Okay. So there's one that
because I haven't read those.
There's one that just came out, Vampire Hunters, that has a really long subtitle that I can't remember, and I feel really badly. I'm sorry. Speculation Publication. From Speculation Publication. It's great, and it's a collection of journal entries written by vampire hunters. So it's an incomplete collection.
Interesting.
And I have one in there called.
So your is one of your stories a journal entry from a vampire hunter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Birds and Beasts.
Birds and Beasts
is called.
Is there anywhere in there where like shit, missed them again?
No. No. But they did an anthology a few years ago that ran a short story I wrote called Aggrieved, and so they're great. Speculation Publication. They're awesome. I love really everything they do. And then I've done I don't know, 3 or 4. Most recently, it's called the anthology is called Petting Boo, and it's Wicked Shadow Press. And what I love about theirs, they're mostly flash fiction. They're mostly really short fiction, but they illustrate them, which is
cool.
My favorite thing about being in those. And
cool.
There's that. And then we did a short film last year called Meat. The short film is called Al Fresco. It's based on a short story that was in another one of Wicked Shadow Press that was called
Al Fresco is the one
Meat.
that George.
Yes, George directed.
George directed.
Yep. So I've got several in those, and then I have one coming out. I think it's the anthology is called Consumed, and my short story is called Junk Food, and I think that it comes out in September or October.
I always made the joke with you that whenever first time I saw a 2-word title, I went, oh,
Yeah.
'cause
2
of
now.
meat,
Yeah.
roost.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Aggrieved. Yeah, I did a lot
yeah,
of
right,
titles.
right. Yeah, and that's fine. If
Yeah.
if one word says it all,
That's right.
Then
Boom.
there's no need to go any further. So do you? Do they approach you and say, "Would you contribute to this collection," or do you submit to them and seek it out?
So it's actually been fairly exciting. So for a very long time, I would just keep an eye out for calls for submissions, and usually, anthologies are on a theme, and so I would just sort of scan the ones where I thought I had something that would fit, because I have hundreds. I mean, I'm pathological about writing, so I always have something, and then just this year, both of these. They approached me, so for junk food, and then also for Birds and Beasts. The publishers came to me and asked me if I wanted to contribute something. That was the first time that happened, so I was very excited.
How'd that feel?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Pretty cool, right?
Nice.
It's like pretty
it was
cool.
cool, yeah.
Yeah. When you go and you submit, living through all the years where you sent stuff out and got, back in the day when actually they mailed you a
Yeah,
rejection slip,
yeah.
and I have all my rejection slips upstairs.
I have a
I have
folder
them
of
all.
them as well. Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
folder of them, and then I got
They used to mail them out.
Huh?
They used to mail
Yeah.
them out.
mail.
They
Used
did.
to mail them out
They
and get them
did.
back, and my favorite one is from the New Yorker.
Wow, yeah.
Quit
What-
sending us shit.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Nice.
It was like very. The fact that I even got a letter back.
That's fun.
But it was like a one-word sentence. Dear Mr. Tripodis, this one is not quite right for the New Yorker. Not quite right. Sincerely, not quite right
Yeah.
for the New Yorker. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, that's the
That's actually makes it probably really good.
23 years
Oh,
old.
nice.
23 years old. So
Well, the Killer Pictures got turned down by a couple of publishers before it got picked up, and
Really?
in both cases, they said that there were no characters in the book that were relatable, and that they didn't like the lead character, so they didn't think anybody would read it. And then so some reviews have come out since it came out, and the thing is. So George and I, we are jurors for a horror movie film festival. Right. And we totally know these people. And if you do what we do, you also know these people.
Right.
Like all of these people are incredibly, exactly. That's
Okay.
exactly what it's like. And so I felt like the horror community, horror readers are going to be like, oh yeah. And not only do I know these people, I know all these movie references that she's making. And so it was really a book for us. It's a book for horror nerds. That is who it's for, and that's why it was so fun to write.
Okay, so the book could be for horror nerds.
Yeah.
But and since you wrote a screenplay simultaneously, it'll just play pretty cool as just a horror movie.
As just a horror movie.
Because
Well-
now you're introducing people to
Yeah.
if you ever wondered about horror film festivals, these are the people that do it.
Yeah.
So people want going. If I'm going to the movie theater,
It's meta.
You'll set it
Yeah.
up and you'll let me know. Okay, these are the people that actually pick the movies, and
Yeah.
now I got it. Okay, that's good. Now let's go from there.
I'm hoping
So-
that the book doesn't make that complicated at all.
it doesn't.
I've
It doesn't.
been happy with. I've had a handful. I always know people who buy my books because they're very kind, but they don't like horror. And so far, this book has gone over way better. Like my sisters, 2 of my sisters are like, I'm halfway through, I can't put it down, because I think it's a mystery. There's a mystery to solve in it that I think keeps people interested.
Yeah, and the wrong person read it, because I'm always like I'm always guessing midway through.
Oh, sure.
And come on with my thoughts and ideas, and I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, but are you right?
Huh?
Are you right?
All I'm going to say, I was right about one thing, but in like no spoilers, I didn't see a shift coming in it.
A twist.
Later, and that's all I'm going to say.
A shift, a
And
twist.
trust me, as a reader, it was
He was dead the whole time.
it was a delightful.
He was
a
Bruce Willis.
delightful shift, and which is why I asked the question earlier: is Destiny anything like you? Which I'm relieved to hear not. But how can I say this without spoiling anything? All right, no, this doesn't spoil anything. you can continue where you leave off with Destiny. Is you could definitely continue if it was
A sequel.
a sequel. I say a sequel. You could leave it alone right here as
And just
is.
see what she does next.
But in a movie,
Yeah.
if you were to follow this,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you did in the script,
Yeah.
it would beg for a sequel. For film wise, it would beg for a sequel.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I suppose so. Yes, I do.
I don't know.
suppose so.
I don't know how and the why. That's up to you to figure out. That's your shit to figure out. But it would.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I think so. Yeah.
And-
Did you go into it thinking that or no?
Huh?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No.
No. And I also, being a fan comedically of callbacks in comedy. And this is not a spoiler. You'll have to read it to find out what I mean. The book ends with a callback.
Mm-hmm.
The book ends with a callback, which made me chuckle. It's like, okay, that made me smile. The callback made me smile the biggest. The rest of it's kind of fucked up in a good way. in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
But back to the process.
Yeah.
You were talking about one line a day. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the one line a day process.
Sure. That's not what I did with this. It's what I because I write. Like I'm writing many things all the time. Like I write.
Well, you write a column for
lot.
Columbus Underground. On
Well,
a
I mean, I
regular
write
basis.
fiction. I write horror fiction all day long. Like I do it all the time.
Okay, I'm gonna
Just
divert
for fun
1
or
second.
knowing
Okay.
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to put
divert
this
for 1
right
second.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to
Alright.
the process.
Okay.
Is that all you write is horror fiction?
I wrote a nice set of blogs about my maternal grandmother.
Okay.
With my aunt just turned 90, and my twin sister and I interviewed her for a summer, and so that there's no horror in that. It's just a nice story of an immigrant.
And how did it feel?
It was fun. I enjoyed it, and it was very specifically sort of researched nonfiction about a historical era that I don't know very much about. So I found that all very interesting, and I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. So back to the horror fiction. Let's talk about the one line a day thing.
Right. So one of the things I do, and I started this like maybe 2 years ago, is that I keep a notebook by my bed. It's a nice one, bound in leather. And every day, the first thing I do is write the next sentence of whatever it is I'm writing. I just the next sentence. So I have a story that's working, and I started doing it really because I woke up with a great sentence in my head, and I just decided to write this sentence down. And then the next day, I woke up with clearly the next sentence, and wherever that sentence was going, I had the second one, and I thought, well, let's see where this goes. And that story turned out to be Junk Food that will come out next month.
Okay,
so that's
cool.
the first one that is completed and will be published. But I've done it ever since then. So probably about 2 years, every morning I just write whatever's the next sentence in the story that is building. And it's I like doing it. It's a fun thing to do. It shifts my focus. I'm paying attention to each individual sentence, right? And also, I have a terrible habit from having written now for so many years, because I really started doing this in like the second grade. I started writing stories. So I
The second grade.
structure them,
Were
in
they-
advance.
Were they
I
horror,
killed-
were they horror stories in the second grade?
They were, and I got in a lot of trouble.
So
You like hoary, gory stuff too.
Our parallels are not the same, but I got in trouble for my first play.
Yeah.
I wrote a play
Mm-hmm.
in the sixth grade. And I got in trouble because it was about it was called A Bum's Rush Christmas, and it was about two winos during the holidays. I'm in the sixth grade, two winos, and I asked my friend Bobby Joe. I said, we need an empty bottle of Ripple, and he goes, oh, my old man's got one of those, and so we got in trouble for these two characters that were boozing and talking about what the holidays meant to them at Christmas time. It was only like 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
But then,
Oh yeah.
I got called in. So you got called in. I got called in for, I don't know what, the bums drunk,
Yeah.
Christmas,
Yeah.
bottle of Ripple on stage in
Yeah.
6th grade. What'd you get in trouble for?
So I actually feel like I might have told this story on this podcast before. When I was in the 4th grade, I wrote and directed a play that it was a sketch. They considered it a sketch at St. Mary's Elementary School. They showed one every PTO meeting. They had a different class to do a sketch at the beginning of the PTO meeting. And mine, the babysitter and the children in her charge are murdered by a ne'er-do-well in the neighborhood.
Oh, nice.
The end.
The end.
Yeah, I was in a lot of trouble. I got in a lot of trouble.
In a lot of trouble,
And
or
there
did
were
they
a lot
send
of-
you to the nurse?
No. My parents were there. It was the PTO meeting. My parents were all, they were like, and there were kids I wasn't allowed to play with for a while.
Wow.
I wasn't supposed to write at all for a
Good
while.
Catholic family.
Yeah,
You're
I got in trouble. Yeah.
My biggest issue is my own worst enemy in respects to procrastination. I will come up with every excuse in the world not to sit in that chair, and then as soon as I sit in that chair, and tell me if you relate to this, because like I said, one of the things I'm envious about, far more prolific in what you do. My biggest fear sitting down in the chair is failure. Failure in not being able to move forward and to actually put something in there that I think is good enough to be in there. So I procrastinate because I don't want to come across that particular writing demon.
Right.
But once I'm in the chair, I'm like, okay, well, this wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
And off I go. But every day, talk about your Groundhog Day writing
sure.
mentality. It's the same thing. Every day, like, oh, fuck, I don't want to sit here, and do this. And then when I sit down, I would think that you probably don't suffer from that with as prolific as you are.
No, it's the only thing I want to do.
It's the
I
only
mean, I
thing
like
you
to
wanna do.
watch scary movies, and if I'm not watching a scary movie, I would like to just be writing something.
So writing is just like you can't wait to sit down.
Yeah.
And good, bad, or indifferent on any given day, because I'm sure you write stuff and you go, oh, that's crap.
Oh, sure. But I also always have 17 things to pull up and start working on, and it's, I'm not somebody who then just ignores it and nothing ever comes of it. Like, then I finish it, whatever it is. Eventually I'm going to finish it.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yes. And I may never do anything with it, but I'm not
done.
somebody, when you say like a work in progress and you think, well, those are 9 things you're never going to get to. No, I am compulsive. They're going to get finished.
So is there one that you're working on right now that you've been working on for a bit, and you open it up and you write a little bit and you go, I just can't crack this, and you just move on to something else?
Question,
You know, it's funny.
Good question.
I have one like that.
Good question.
And it's that's fairly uncommon for me.
Really?
Yeah, but there's one. It started off as a short story, and it's kind of maybe borderline Lovecraftian. There's kind of a sea monster sort of a situation in it. But at the heart of it is like a high school kid, her older sister, and her dying mother. And so it was supposed to be a short story. I thought it would be a short story. It just kept getting longer and longer. And every time I read it, I thought there's so much in here that hasn't been unpacked yet. And then I would unpack it some more. And I thought I've completely lost like the structure of this. And so eventually I realized it's a novel, but it's also because of sort of what it is that it's hard. It's a difficult material for me,
Right.
because my mom died in high school. I know
Gotcha,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. And so, it mines a lot of that. And I to be honest with you, I would rather just murder other people than mine my own trauma. So that
Making
one.
a note.
Yeah.
Making a note.
Yeah. Yeah. So that one I have a hard
That's
time
gonna be
with.
in my
although-
book.
Yeah.
But if you mind
That's
your
gonna
own,
be, you're going to be a character in one of my books.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
But if you're talking about your own, suffering, it's
Yeah.
sometimes the best.
Yeah, it may be at some point
you know
the
it the
best
best.
novel, but like it's just the hardest one for me to write. So I just keep thinking, or I could go over to this one and then I'll work on that for
The
a
thing
while.
I hate and love about H.P. Lovecraft is that he never really ends a story. So maybe that's just how you end it. You just end it. You just you're like, and then maybe a monster came.
Yes,
Right.
but it's very colorful and everyone went mad.
Well, I find that interesting. You said never ending a story. I find it interesting you said you have no plans for a sequel for this one. And yet, when I got done reading, I'm like, oh, it's totally set up for a sequel, but maybe I'm thinking movie as
Yeah.
opposed
Well,
to book.
you know what? Or
But-
maybe I'll just start one now.
or-
Maybe I'll go, hey, this could be a
because,
sequel.
well, again, no spoilers. Get the book, read it for yourself, and then find out, like, by you get to the end as to whether or not this character, the lead character, the heroine.
You said heroin? What?
She's the heroine.
said
She
heroine.
is. She is.
She is.
Should continue on and how?
I did have. I think one of my favorite reviews we got was that, she's funny and she's so fun with her sister and with these animals that
Right.
you forget what the book is about, and then all of a sudden you're like, ah! And I thought I love that. Like,
Well, joking when I said some of the comparisons to the character, but then there were a couple little subtle things. Like I said earlier in the podcast, you write what you know.
you do, yeah.
You write what you know. You know that world. You know this film festival world.
Yeah.
You know, and I would imagine and I know the amount of films
Yeah.
that both you and George watch
Yeah.
on a daily, weekly basis
Yeah.
is massive.
Yeah.
So when I see like Muppet pajamas, or
I have Muppet pajama pants. That is true.
Okay,
Yeah,
see,
I do.
so I'm not
do.
crazy.
Well, not only that, to be honest with you, so the film fest, we're jurors for the Nightmares Film Festival here in Columbus, Ohio, and it's
I know you are.
and it's a horror fest. And several years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago now, I was going through the queue, and there was a movie called Adam.
Oh fuck.
And Adam was the name of one of the judges. And
Okay.
I know. And I didn't watch it, but as I continued to scroll, because you're assigned certain categories. And so I was looking for one of the ones I was assigned to watch. And as I kept scrolling, there was another movie in the queue called Jason. And he's the name of the guy who runs the film festival. And I
We've had him
thought
on, right?
at that
Jason
second,
hasn't been on. No, Jason hasn't been on.
at that second, I said, like, to myself, if I see my name in here, which could happen because it's just a word, right? My name is just a word. If I see my name in here, I quit this festival right now. And then I thought, why?
Right.
Like, what am I so freaked out by? And that was the entire impetus for this novel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, again, right? What you know,
Oh,
what
for
you
sure.
feel,
Yeah.
and what you've experienced,
Yeah.
and like, oh, what a great idea.
Yep.
I mean, we have we went to the cabin. You mentioned earlier film and stuff, and we started developing what might be the next thing. We decided out of the 10 ideas, we decided on 3, and one of the ideas is the name of the name is like all we have to do is kill my brother, and that
I love it. I want to watch it right now.
and you can't.
That's
but
awesome.
it's based on something that I said in casual conversation. During the pandemic,
Yeah.
if everything turns to shit, I'll burn everything down to the ground. I'll sell the house, and we'll just move to the island in Greece, and live in my father's house. And someone said, "Wait a minute! I thought your brother stole that house from you when your father died." I go, "He did. All we have to do is kill my brother, and we get the house." And so we've developed that.
Yep.
Both ways. We developed it to be filmed in Greece,
And an actual plan for murder.
if we got a big budget, and then we also developed it to shoot here if we wanted to.
I'll be an
to keep it
extra,
local.
only if you do the grease thing.
Go to Greece. Go to Greece. You mentioned Nightmares, and I'd probably be remiss if I didn't mention there's a film in your queue.
There is.
That you guys. They have Pig Hill submitted to Nightmares Festival.
Oh, nice.
Did, yeah.
Well, nice or not?
Yeah. Well, now.
Yes!
Yeah.
We're going to be able to see it regardless.
No.
Well,
because
yes.
they don't have final say.
No, we don't.
They don't have
Also,
final say. Let me just say that.
okay. Well,
Okay, so
also,
no.
let me also say, so George and I are we do the thriller features. So Pig Hill isn't submitted as a thriller.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have any say at all.
At all.
What category is that?
But horror. I'm sure it's horror.
It's horror.
But we can watch it.
You can watch
Plus,
it.
it's the same filmmaker made Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland,
which
Kevin
is
Lewis.
with Nicolas Cage,
Nick
which
Cage.
was basically Five Nights at Freddy's before Five Nights at Freddy's
Right.
came out, and much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like it got eclipsed.
Yeah, it did.
A little
So
bit.
yeah, we're excited to see it, but we don't have any say in whether it gets in.
You got the first line in the trailer, dude.
in the trailer, yeah.
Yeah.
I know the first line.
Yeah,
of
it's a
the
cool
trailer.
Sweet,
trailer.
come
It's
on, man.
creepy.
It is
Can you
creepy.
do a reset? Like,
No,
it's
I
been a
can't.
while since we've talked
I
just
can't.
No. Just there's a movie Dino is in.
That's right.
Called Pig Hill.
I shot the movie. It'll be 3 years in April.
It's been
Oh
a
my
minute,
God, that
but it's
long?
coming out. It's debuting in London.
It's at Fright Fest, which you
It's
told
a
me
big
is-
deal. Yeah, it's a
huge
big
Fright
deal.
Fest is a huge festival.
I thought it was London, Ohio, and I was like, let's go.
Let's go. John's like, let's go. I thought, John wants to go to England. I go,
Yeah.
no, it's in London, England.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
England. I thought you
England.
guys were joking the whole
No,
time.
yeah,
it's
it's
a-
but
that's
then
a big
I-
festival.
but
London, England.
Yes.
So being
Pig Hill.
the obtuse horror person that I am, I asked you about Fright Fest, and you said Fright Fest is huge.
Yeah, it is huge. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So,
So even you were like, oh, it's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, but that's still pretty big.
no,
Oh,
actually,
yeah, no,
actually,
yeah.
when I thought about it, when we were went
that's
down to
hyperbole,
the Felt,
but
when Down to the Felt was in Cleveland at the Cleveland Film Festival,
Yeah.
we had a bigger audience in the afternoon
Yeah.
than we had in the evening
Yeah.
because people were free to. So maybe
People
so
wanna go
maybe
see it, yeah.
maybe that's a good thing.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just glad it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
it's gonna be here in Columbus, and we'll let you know.
No, it's not.
It's
We
gonna-
don't know
it's
for
gonna-
sure if it's going to be
No,
in
we
Columbus.
I know
don't.
we don't.
We
And
don't
it's
know
gonna-
that.
And I'm excited. I'm excited that they submitted to Columbus.
Yes,
There's a
I
little
am
bit of
too.
karma there.
Well,
And
also-
I don't think they submitted thinking me at all. I don't think they remember.
No, it's a big festival. Nightmares Film Festival is one of the easily
become a big one.
the most respected genre festivals in the world. Easily one of the most respected genre festivals, and we've been to a lot now. You know, with the short films that we've done, and also with Obstacle Corps. And I don't think even we recognized the caliber of festival that Nightmares is. It is
And has
it's-
become.
Yeah, but it's all in one location. It's a beautiful location. It's incredibly well run. They go out of their way to make filmmakers feel comfortable, to set up networking opportunities for filmmakers. The list, I mean the program is impeccable every year. It's what's tough is that
How many years
they
running
have
now?
10. It's the 10th one this year, and they'll have a screen of film shorts in one studio, in one theater, and then features in the next. And like that's the worst part is that you just got to go. Oh my God, which am I going
What's
to?
my choices?
You know, it's a magnificent festival, and actually, I'm really incredibly thrilled that that they asked me to do a workshop there this year, where I
that's
will
awesome.
talk specifically about killer pictures and about writing across medium. And we shot a little short film for Killer Pictures at our house a couple weeks ago, and we'll show that there. It's not part of the festival proper, right? I mean, it's not in
right.
contention for anything. We
Showcase.
shot it specifically for the workshop, but
showcase.
yeah. So anyway, I'm so thrilled that they are going to let me do that or ask me to do
Last
that.
time I went, I was just like chit chatting with some guy at the bar, and George, I think, came up. I was like, this is my buddy George, and he freaked out. George, what? What are they
From Sunday 95?
No,
mean,
he was more concerned. He was more excited about being a juror,
Yeah.
being a. So that's very cool. That you guys are
community
renowned.
has its.
Yeah, it is. Let me.
Diehard fans.
Here's a great story actually. So my son lives in L.A. and he met a guy in L.A., a filmmaker who just moved out there, and he moved out there from I think Orlando.
Your son, one of the most brilliant clowns ever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah.
most brilliant
And
clowns
chefs.
ever. And
Chefs.
a chef and,
Yeah.
and a clown at the same time.
Yep.
Yes.
He was, yes, he's the star of Obstacle Corps, and he's very, very good in it. But so this young man, he moved to LA by way of from Orlando, by way of Columbus, Ohio, specifically so he could go to Nightmares Film Festival. Like he came all the way
Oh,
north,
wow.
went to Nightmares Film Festival first, and then drove out to LA where he lives now. And he submitted a short this year with the hopes of coming back and screening there.
That's
So
awesome.
it's a magnificent festival.
So, again, if it doesn't get into Nightmares, that's fine. And I hold no ill will whatsoever.
I'm
because
excited to see it.
You're excited to see it. I want to see it too. But there's a fact that just let me do the math. If a film like that gets into Fright Fest, which you say is a huge fest, does that bode well to get into Nightmares?
I don't have any idea.
No clue,
Honestly,
no
I
clue.
don't. I don't have
All right,
any idea.
Either it does or it doesn't. It
Yeah.
does, either way, it's a horror film, and it's going to get out there at some point.
Yeah.
Oh,
by
absolutely.
Can we agree that regardless of where and when, but when it's in the United States, we're going to make sure
What
that
was your
you know
What
where
was
to
your
see it.
question? What did you want me to recap? Did I
I
recap
bet you're
it?
a movie star.
No, I just wanted to recap what Pig Hill was because
It's basically an urban legend in Meadville, Pennsylvania. that the woods are full of a hybrid pig people.
That's it. But he did a film 3 years ago,
and then
that's
there's
it.
these murders that occur, and they're blaming it on the pig people, but there's something far more sinister involved.
More sinister than pig people?
More sinister than pig people.
Wow.
And I played Giovanni Vendetti, who is the king of Pig Hill. And when I say not of the pig people, he's not the king of the pig people. He runs an illegal pig farm.
Okay.
But what was fun about the character is he's so vile, disgusting, and broad. It's I got a chance to do something that was completely out of my wheelhouse.
I love that idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the screenwriter, when he was watching, but it ran into production problems. My second day on the set, there was issues, and I sat. And then third day, I sat, and then I got sent home, and then I had to come back, and then it just kind of languished. Shane West is in it from his early days on ER, the TV series, and Mandy Moore. I think A Walk to Remember, is that the name of the movie?
Well, and she was like a giant pop star for a long time.
No,
that
she's
time.
Mandy Moore's not in it.
Huh? No,
What?
not in Pig Hill. No,
Oh.
I'm talking about the stuff that Shane West did.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, okay.
And
Quick,
what was
like
the
Mandy
what
Moore
was
was
the
in
the superhero movie, the gentleman movie?
The Flash.
No.
Right.
no.
Yeah,
The
where
League
they-
of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
The League
yeah.
of Extraordinary
in that.
Gentlemen.
And Rain Qualley is the female lead.
Okay.
She's Margaret Qualley's sister.
Okay.
Andy McDowell's daughter.
Other daughter, sure.
She's also a singer and an actress. She's in it. And now to get back more into your horror mode, one of the producers in the film is the guy who was Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, no, Gunnar Hansen's been dead for a while.
Yeah,
so.
he's the other guy. 3. The 3. Texas Massacre, the guy that replaced. He's also one of the producers.
Sorry. Nice.
So, we'll see.
I'm excited.
I've been
Can I ask you
texting
a
them
question?
privately, saying like, because I almost had a chance to see it and I couldn't. There was a blip in the arrangements. I couldn't make it, and at the same time, I'm like, kind of don't want to see it.
Chip's got a question.
I
Go
got
ahead,
a
Chip.
question. Yeah, so I've been trying to squeeze this in, but I haven't found an opportunity. I don't want to step on anybody. But say A24 comes to you and reads your film script version of it, and they want to buy it. Would you sell it to them?
My God, yes. What are you, high right
In
now?
a fucking heartbeat.
He might be.
Dude, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I would.
Do you ask that because then you have to like kind of give over control to a bigger corporation? I mean, I think
Yeah, no.
the payday is worth it.
Yeah, if you are
in
a
this
screenwriter,
scenario.
you pretty much willing
Wouldn't that be
to.
awesome, though,
it
to
would
see
be.
an A24 version of your script on
Yes.
the screen?
They're the
Oh,
best.
my God.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
man.
Bloomhouse.
Yeah. You know,
Or even
anything.
Shudder.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
You
would
guys
love.
are tight with Shudder too.
I love Shudder. Actually, we love Shudder. That's our favorite streaming service of all of them. Is Shudder.
Hell Hotel. No, you
LLC?
guys don't watch. You don't watch shows. No, it's a TV
Oh,
series.
oh, right. No, I don't. We don't watch that show.
They don't
but-
watch series because they are writing horror films and watching
right,
movies.
Yeah,
and reviews.
we really get to watch shows, because we watch a movie every night because we're film critics, and so we have day jobs, and then the hours are up in a day, so we don't get to watch very many shows.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
That's why it's tough. Oscar time. It's tough to schedule because that's a busy time
Yep.
to get them both, and we actually occasionally, every once in a while, have lives.
I do want to, I want to just point out because I love the cover of this book.
Yeah.
that-
yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
That,
this
George sketched it.
George.
Yep.
George sketched
The artist.
this. Are you getting this, Johnny?
Did he get credit on the book?
Get it,
you know,
Get it.
He didn't. Oh, and you know what? I hate to
Art
admit
director,
this, but
George Wolfe.
they did not ask me for
You got
acknowledgments.
that? Yeah. Okay.
And
then there's this became this.
Yep.
And Hansberry, you said something very funny.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, thanks for submitting your young child's artwork for this book."
George
Well,
did
I
his
look at
very
it.
best.
Yeah, he did.
You know what? He's
we brainstormed
creative in a lot of ways.
That's right. And he had to, we had 5 minutes. She was like, if you want say in the cover, get me a sketch in the next 15 minutes. And so I said, we talked about it for a while, and
It's hard to see.
he jotted that down, and it
Well, we
became.
could talk maybe next time because you also talked about having different small independent book publishers
Yeah.
and the different. I mean, that's probably a whole podcast on its own.
It is.
Yeah,
it
it
is
is.
wildly different. It is a wildly different
Yeah, I'm
experience from one
going to
the
be
next.
when I get done. I'm going to be picking your brain out. I mean, obviously you are very familiar with who the horror publishers are, and I'm going to be going more the mystery route because mine's a lighthearted mystery.
Edgar Allan Poe. He invented both of them.
Yes,
did.
yes, he did.
I don't know.
but-
I don't know if you know it's DUOTROPE Duotrope, and they send out
do
for
not.
free
I do not.
a weekly newsletter with calls for submissions. For
Oh no, you need to send that to me.
Yeah, so that's-
I am totally clueless when it comes to anything out there.
Yeah, that's the first
the
thing I
world.
always recommend to people because it's and that's how I usually find anthologies. I'll just look for somebody who's like a call for a theme in a horror anthology, but it's just really helpful and
I've only
it's
been
free.
in one anthology, the short story they wrote, and I submitted it as it got published as a short story, but then I also submitted it when people was it Pipeline? Mm-hmm. Pipeline. Mm-hmm. They were looking for if you have a short story or novel that could be turned into a screenplay.
Oh, okay.
Send it, and this is years ago, and I sent it in. They said no, but it got into the anthology, and I was pleased about that. So, and also crime. For some reason, crime. Write what you know.
Yeah.
You're
a criminal.
I know crime. Yeah.
No, nor am I a murderer, as far as you know.
No. Let's
That
establish
we
that
know.
right now. Let's just clear
Actually,
the air right now.
I want to. If I have a second, I have a funny story to tell that
Please.
has that. So I went to my niece's graduation in Vermont, and I got as far as Philadelphia, and the plane was delayed, canceled, uncanceled, canceled again, uncanceled. We were there for hours, and there were two other women, and the one, she had gotten her dad Formula One tickets.
Oh, wow.
In Montreal, and she was going to meet him in Vermont. He was coming over from Connecticut, and they were going to drive to Montreal. And if she didn't leave right then, and she spent all the money she owned. She spent every cent she had to get these tickets for him. And so I was like, it's only a 7-hour drive. You want to just rent a car. So two women I've never met before, never met each other before. We rented a car. We left Philadelphia Airport at midnight, and I got to my sister's house at 7:00 in the morning. And we were in the car like 20 minutes, and the young veterinarian in the back seat said, "So now is where we explain to everybody how we're not serial killers." And I said, "Just don't Google me."
That's great. That's great. All right, we got to wrap things up. This is the book right here, Killer Pictures, Hope Madden, available everywhere. Hope.
Yes,
Yep.
all the places.
All the places you can get a book, it's available. Those of you who like Amazon.com, you can get it there for sure. BarnesandNoble.com.
Yep, BarnesandNoble.com.
BarnesandNoble.com.
There are actual copies of it in the Barnes & Noble Lennox.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's very exciting.
Nice. That's very cool.
Out in the wild, there it was.
Again, envious and now jealous. All right, but check it out. It's a fun read, and you're right. It's a fast read. I mean,
is,
you
yeah.
start zipping through it. I read this down when I finally had a chance to read it in Florida, and then I read it again more recently, so I could get like, okay, there's a couple things that I need to ask her, and I need to refresh my memory. No, that's it. That's what I want to ask. That's what I want to ask. That's what I ask, and so forth and so on. But congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to the next one.
Thank you.
We'll talk about either the next film or the next book, whatever it might be. Right here, my thanks to Greg Hansberry on the audio side, John Whitney on the video side, Chip Cosell back there on all sides. Unbelievable that we've never had actual, just plain old-fashioned Jamesons on the podcast.
I just had a bite of Chex Mix.
You had a bite of Chex Mix
and
that you brought?
Chex Mix and Jammy.
Yeah, that's also how you know that you like. It's like one of the big points of tonight's evening was like, somebody's got to get some Diet Pepsi. I forgot to get some Diet Pepsi.
That's right.
For Hope. And Hansberry brought the Diet Pepsi, so we got the Diet. So that's how you know, like, it's in her podcast writer.
That's right.
That she has
Yes,
to have
it
Diet Pepsi. So we got the Diet Pepsi, and we also have some Gatto's pizza still.
Yes,
we gotta
very
get
good.
dug
Yes.
into, which I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything all day today. So on behalf of these three guys, Hope, Madden, thank you so much. George Wolf.
Yay.
Shout out. over there. My name is Dino Tripodis. Until the next bottle. See ya.
Yay.